Hey y'all, Joseph McBrayer here to talk a little bit about church cinematography, and today I'm going to talk about how I've built out my cinema camera rig. Now, before I get into talking about the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K and how I've done it, go ahead and find the subscribe button down there and click on that for more content like this. Also, in the description below, you can find links to all these products that I'm using, all of these different tools that I'm using to make films for church and nonprofit. And so without any further ado, let's jump into some of this video, which is all about gear. I want to emphasize the importance, first off, of the importance of gear for some things. Now, you need to have a camera in order to create things. That can be your smartphone, it can be whatever you have. You don't have to subscribe to having the latest and greatest technological gadgets all the time. There are certainly some tools that will help you do some of these things, but today I'm going to talk about how I'm able to switch between handheld to gimbal, all the way over to a full-out cage here with the gimbal ring, and even how then I'm able to put it on top of a backpack or otherwise, or mount it other places if I want to, and to do all that seamlessly with just one simple tool, just a screwdriver. So here we go. Helps to have the screwdriver. So the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema 6K is an amazing camera. Again, it is a great cinema camera for the price, great value for the money you put into it, and for me it was an approachable way to get into buying a dedicated camera for filming. A lot of people choose other cameras, and essentially the best camera you have, as Matt D'Avella, the filmmaker and YouTuber and documentarian, says, the best camera isn't the one you have, it's the one you master. And so being able to find all the dials and all those things quickly in the dark when you're just thinking what you need to do is a great way to do it. So for me, this BlackMagic Pocket Cinema 6K is pretty awesome for that. I'm learning a lot. I've only had this for a few months, but had a lot of the gear and peripherals to make this work and do well. So I'm going to build out my handheld rig now and sort of what I do when I am filming quickly and on the fly with things. So I'll do that real quick for us. So here we go. The first thing that I always think about when I'm trying to switch between things is how to mount a top plate or the bottom plate. And so I'll show you how I do it. I use these two holes here, which allows me to, again with a screwdriver, once this plate's on, I can do all the rest of my switches between all the things from handheld to gimbal to tripod really smoothly and quickly. I found this actually from Pietro Etris, a great filmmaker. I'll link his YouTube channel here on the side. He is doing some really cool things about how to switch quickly between handheld and gimbal, and I found his YouTube tutorial on it and modified it for my own. But a big thing is, if you've already got the Manfrotto PL plate that comes with your DJI ronin-s, you can go ahead and use that. And this is the old model S, so it's not the new fancy one, but maybe someday. So put that on there, and that essentially gets me set up and ready to then go slide into my Manfrotto tripod with a PL plate or onto the gimbal once I get all those things assembled. That's the first part. Second thing you gotta think about is memory and what you need to do. So this is a Samsung T5. Don't get the T7 because it won't work, but this is a 1 terabyte, which allows me to film for a long time all in one place, and then also edit from this. So if I'm filming in BlackMagic RAW, this allows me to do that. So just put that in there, solid, good to go. People use cable clamps, whatever you fancy your suitedness there. Quickly, I'm going to take the lens off, or put the lens on. Just take the caps off. This is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. Great camera lens, super helpful for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. You essentially get 3 or 4 prime lenses out of it. Top handle from Small Rig, and I should have said this is the Small Rig cage on here. Just the standard, bought used. A lot of these parts I bought used on eBay or other places. Super convenient to have that. So now we got top handle. That thing is pretty solid. And so for me, the next part, if I want to throw on the mic, I can do that. And that's pretty easy. This is a Rode video mic. Probably have the correct description there in the bottom on the chat. I've mounted on a boom pole, done podcasts with it, whatever works for you. Next thing I really put on there before I get the monitor and this matte box, this is a black Pro Mist filter that I've actually taken a step down ring and put into the Tilta mini matte box, which is super helpful and good. And then I've figured out a way to basically allow me to thread on this black Pro Mist filter and still use any other filters I want to in the front. ND filter, variable ND, screwed on the front, good to go. And then throw this guy on. And that is a quick handheld, ready to go run and gun rig. And so that's a big part of quickly if I want to run and go get something. There it is, got zoom, all the things. Let's throw the ND on there, filter out things with the sun, I'll be solid and ready to go. The next thing you'll see is that I've got a couple of other attachments. I can also, like I said, put this monitor on. Go ahead and pull the mic off just for now to get it out of the way. The Rode Video mic is a new thing. I have a micro that I use often on here. I'll just grab that real quick so it's up here. And that's another mic that I use often. Again, really easy just for scratch audio when I need it, and then to get this on a subject is a much better way to do it. Okay, so this is the Andy Cine 4K. Bought it used, ultra bright, super bright in daylight conditions. You can do all kinds of things with this monitor, but for me it's super helpful because it helps me see where things are during different shoots. Otherwise, it's got a great in and out. We used this when we filmed service the other day. It's got peaking, it's got all the things you're going to want to make happen when you're filming and doing stuff. So that's there. Cable management is a real thing, and so I've got a couple of different strategies for that, but I'll get to it. NPF battery on the back. And then I'm able to monitor this with a much better angle of view. If I need to go down, I can go down low, go up high, whatever I need to do. And also you can send out of this into other places. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put this guy on. This is the Tilta Nucleus Nano follow focus. And it's super helpful for a lot of reasons. It allows me to wirelessly control the focus on the front of this. If I'm just going handheld, like we did for the Ash Wednesday service, this would be it, as well as adding this Edge power base, which is a great way to power your BlackMagic cameras. You simply just plug this guy in, and then you're good to go. Just plug that part in and you're solid and ready to go. The great part about having the extra battery in the bottom is that you can then run and go and get whatever you need to. You've got extra power. This will last about for 3 hours, and that's super helpful. From here, how I'd build it up to make it better and bigger is simply adding the follow focus, the Tilta Nucleus Nano, and then I'll show you how that setup looks to be able to go straight from that into all the other setups that I use. You're just going to put that on here. You want to tighten that part into this little bayonet deal, and then I'll put the follow focus on this and plug it in. Good to go. So, and this is powered off that same core battery that I have, and allows me to then pull focus wirelessly between side handle. Just slide this on the NATO rail right here, and then power on the follow focus, and then you have follow focus here, ready to go, and super clean and easy to use. All right, so that's with the follow focus on it, so you can run and gun and go this way. Super helpful for down low shots, up high shots. However you want to do it, you can accomplish it and get it. And then also the ability to pull focus. Someone else could be pulling focus. You could hand off this side handle if you want to someone else, and they could do it. If I were going from this straight over to the gimbal, this is how it would go. So take mic off, take a side handle off, hang on to that because you're going to need it. Go ahead and pop the monitor cable out because I won't need the monitor for the rig, and pop the handle off for the handle and this part. Keep the follow focus matte box on. I usually take the flag off just because that's extra weight. Don't need that part. But here's sort of it stripped down. Now the reason this is on the side like this is so then I can straight up balance it on the already ready to go DJI Ronin. I've got some cables here to power the BlackMagic, as well as a couple other things on it. So slide this on. And then I'm going to balance it all the way to the back. I'll show you exactly where I have the lines and things here in a sec. And then slide this part all the way over. And lock it down. so pretty decently balanced. I'm gonna need to go a little further back on it. This cable just goes in here and plugs it in just like this. All right, so plug the cables on the side here, as well as the power cable that's being powered from the Ronin onto the Tilta follow focus right here. So to get that part set up, and then yeah, so then we've got this part here. Okay, so for balancing this, you just get it. I've got a couple marks that I've put on this, on the actual slide for this, and so I hit the same mark every time. In theory, relatively balanced. So turn the gimbal on. And you are ready to go. So the way I set this most times is using it merely as stabilizer mode. So you can put it on hip, can shoot this way, it's recording the SSD, it's still balanced, really solid construction. You can go down low, you can do all kinds of shots. So there's still room behind the screen here, and it works pretty well just to use it just like this to get the shots you want. You can also still use the functionality that it has as a gimbal, just to get those nice, smooth, even pans and different shots you want to get, whether you're going up high and shooting down, or whether you're shooting just like this. This will work for you. So when I want to go from this, almost forgot. So the follow focus you can put right here, and then the follow focus is battery powered, and so you've got two handles that you can grip with and film, but then you can also get that nice follow focus action while you're filming. Super helpful to have the NATO rail just mounted here on the side of the Ronin. You can also put this on a monopod and go even higher to do crane shots, whatever you want to do. And so that's sort of that setup. When I'm ready to go off of this, you just simply turn off the Ronin, and then you start taking things off. What I'm going to do actually is take this side handle off with the follow focus, hang on to the follow focus because we're going to need that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off the quick release plate. So that part's out and ready. And then I'm actually going to slide this whole thing off of the stand. And then once you've got this part ready, this is where the next fun part comes in. I've got this set up, this O-ring, ready to go. So I've got this part here, and I'm simply going to slide it into this universal joint, which I've bought and mounted on this little guy. The great thing about it is that this power base is what's going to power this Ronin as well. And so you simply just plug it in. It's hard to find me in the midst of all this. So the next part of this is then to take the power base, attach it here. Of course, I left the other clamp at home. This is how it always goes. But the great news is I can also attach this monitor. So take my monitor off of the handle here, and I can mount it on this mounting part just up here. And so once this is up here, I can mount it. And then I've also got the monitor. Then I'll be able to see, get different angles. However I want to shoot it, I can, because we've got it as an option. The good news is if I want to do this quickly, I can. I'm not the most efficient at it, but it does help to practice and keep on doing it in various ways. So this follow focus wheel, really important to see this part. You simply just slide this onto this quick release plate that I've got mounted on the side here, and then I can still hold right here and then operate the focus wheel just with my thumb. And this simply has a D-tap plug. Plug this guy into the power base, and then you've got it said Velcroed on here, ready to go and solid just for when I need it. Then you just power on your gimbal one more time. And so now the gimbal is running this way. It's back up and running, same settings, same different things. Turn on my monitor so I can get a nice visual on that. Turn on the camera, that probably helps. And then again, with this part secured here, we're ready to go. And then I can literally pick this guy up and go and film whatever I need to. Gimbal's balanced. You can put this on a bigger backpack rig, and then I've got a shot at doing exactly what I want to do whenever I want to, and then just, again, set it down, turn it all off, pop the handle back on, and that's how I do it. So that is one of the ways that I am finding that I can maneuver and use this gimbal setup in a way that's quick and easy for me and the work that I'm doing as a filmmaker and short cinematographer. Again, with this camera and with this powerful setup that I have and the quick portability between batteries with one thing, the Core SWX, and then I can quickly transition that to use on this or to use in a different setup. This is what I've found to be so compelling and exciting, frankly, that I can use this in all the ways that I want it to. Got places for other mic attachments if I want to throw a shotgun mic on for better than scratch audio, or if I want to, it's not hard to really rebalance this with just a small little video micro on there. So that is sort of a quick, not so efficient run at the different ways that we're doing things or that I'm doing things here. If you found this helpful, again, please do like and subscribe, and I appreciate your taking the time to do that. If you've got some other ways you've set things up, then please do comment down below and let me know what those are. Again, this is sort of a combination of Jake Gliam and Pietro Attrice, as well as of Two Lands. He's someone else I look up to in the way of thinking about handheld shooting. And it's about what you want to get when. So if you're looking to create some sort of shot or be able to hold something all day long, it might be the best thing actually just to get a handheld setup going. But to be able to have the parts and pieces to transition quickly between one thing and the next, or what you need for that day, or what can fit in your backpack or what can fit on your trip, those are all great ways to do that. So encourage you to do that. Again, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all. Whew. Now I just need to grow some of those beefy arms. Whew. All right, I'm out. Peace.